TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond.
Hi, my name is Dynasty, and welcome to TV 1061. Join our network and broadcast your event live across the continent. Come to our studio and film and stream your talk show, sitcom, showcase, and broadcast it worldwide. Combine multimedia with your live stream. Independent filmmakers, show your movie and afterwards interview your cast live. Sponsors, advertisers, I'm talking to you. This is your chance for global exposure. These are very exciting times we live in. Traditional TV is all but a thing of the past. TV 1061 is now on the Roku platform with a viewership of 46 million and counting. Roku is an industry leader in internet TV. It is the most popular and fastest growing internet TV platform. If you are interested in developing and streaming your own show or movie, or coming in as a sponsor or an advertiser, please send your contact information with a short description of your interest to 1061tv@gmail.com. Thank you. Hi.
TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond.
Listen, we are live. The talk show kings are back, man. Y'all didn't know before. You're gonna learn today.
The thing about coronavirus is it doesn't care if you're black or white.
It doesn't.
It does not care if you're rich or poor. It does not exclude if you're a Republican or a Democrat.
I'm taking it as in it becoming a hostile environment.
I couldn't even go to the restroom. I would crawl to the restroom and hold the walls to not fall off of the restroom. I couldn't stand up to get in my bed because I seriously thought I was dying.
Hey, there you go. And here we are. We are finally back. We are joined by myself and my buddy King Mike. Mike, we're going to let them introduce us to them, and we're going to go from there.
All right. Hey, how you doing? Welcome, everybody. Glad you're able to join. Happy Mother's Day to everyone, all the ladies out there, and to your mothers. King Mike, ready to get this going today. Very special day. Look forward to great topics.
Absolutely. And I'm your host for tonight. I'm King Lundy, and it feels so good to be back in the captain's chair once again. We got another amazing show, but for our many fans that stayed down with us, thank you so very much for hanging in there. And you can catch us right now, 6:30 on Roku TV. You also can catch us Facebook Live, and you also can catch us YouTube Live. But right now, we're going to get into a dynamic show. We got King Mail that's on the way. So don't change that dial. We're going to get into the Joe Biden. Joe Biden has been our 46th American president for 100 days.
All right.
We're asking this question to the American people. In those 100 days that Joe Biden has been president, do you think that he's done everything that he and Kamala said that they were going to do in their campaign for this administration for black people? And we're going to start off with you, King Mike, because I know this is a topic you've been waiting to get into.
Without being vulgar, I have to say heck no. Profoundly no.
Right.
And I say that because this is the same gentleman that came on, I believe it was the Breakfast Club.
Right.
He came on the Breakfast Club show, and he turned around and said, if we didn't vote for him, you wasn't black.
Right.
And so a lot of people got offended by that.
Right.
But we still turned out in droves.
Right, absolutely.
In order to stuff the ballot box, so to speak.
Absolutely. And that we did now.
And that happened because he won the election. So that's the unfortunate part about it, because within that first day that he was elected, which, and I'm going to preface this by saying I don't have a problem with this at all, he passed anti-hate legislation or protections for transgendered people.
Right.
Now, I don't have a problem with that.
Absolutely.
The issue that I have with that is he has not passed anything for black people.
Okay.
And that's the issue, is that we came out in droves.
Now, the first thing that they are going to say, and I know the American people are going to say it, King Mel, is what about the stimulus? Because a lot of black people think that the stimulus was just for us.
The stimulus.
We got the stimulus. He gave us a stimulus. It's just for us.
I think he gave us the stimulus, but to us, I think it might be like, that's only part of your reparations, my brother. That's only part of it. You got a long ways to go for 40 acres on a mule.
Hey, that stimulus wasn't for us, though. That's the whole thing. The stimulus benefited everyone who needed the stimulus at that time, and even now, people are saying it's still not enough.
I think the stimulus only benefited businesses, big businesses, simply because you got to think about it. Remember when the first stimulus came out?
Right.
And right after the first stimulus came out, they wanted to hurry up and quickly reopen the communities and stuff, like open the cities and all the facilities around it. It's like you know in Atlanta they want to open the bars and the clubs.
Absolutely.
They really were ready to let down all the guidelines set in place just to get the little money that was sent to people.
Right.
That is very sad. And then you add on top of that, right? You got them adding the unemployment benefits. They were like what extra 300, 400, like 600 a week.
600, yeah,
exactly.
On top of the 300 they were getting.
So you got to think about that. I think it was more of a push for businesses versus was for the people, because 3 stimulus checks in a course of over a year.
Right.
When the job market has been the way it's been. Come on now.
Well, I put it like this: we would have to be fooled if we didn't think this country was built for corporations and not for citizens.
Right.
So none of that surprises me at all.
Right.
That would be the forefront of trying to get the economy turned around.
Okay, now that first stimulus check, it came under Trump's administration.
Right.
And the second check came under Biden's administration. And the question is, has Joe Biden done everything that he said he was going to do for black people in the 100 days that he's been our 46th president?
I think it's virtually impossible for anybody to do anything for any melanated American or any other citizen here.
Right.
Within the first 100 days, you can only do so much. There's a lot of red tape to go through.
Right.
We don't know it. We don't get to see it ourselves. But knowing what we know about politics, there are a lot of hoops and hurdles and roadblocks here and there thrown up by different sides, Republicans, Democrats, liberal, whatever you want to be. You know what I mean? But I don't think it's possible to do everything you said. You try to do some of the things, but most of the time you're not going to be able to do all of it.
I'll tell you what, one thing that he did do is that the coronavirus, what's that, Asian anti-hate bill?
Yeah.
That was passed 96 to 1. Oh, there was only one opposition to it, and that was the first time it went through. And
that's
so that went, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not knocking it, but look how quickly that went through for them, for specifically the Asian and Pacific Islander community, whereas we're still waiting on one of the 200 bills that have been presented to Congress to even pass. That's the issue that I have. It's not that he's done for other, communities, for people. It's the fact what he hasn't done, for African American or black people.
Right. Now, also keep in mind, King Mel and King Mike, that a lot of these agreements that are not bipartisan, and a lot of the bipartisan agreements, like the bipartisan agreement for the stimulus, which means that we didn't get exactly what Biden wanted, but by the bipartisan with the Republicans, they gave us just enough because they wanted more. So even with whatever he can do, he's still not doing enough simply because he's not getting the bipartisan from the Republicans to help him do anything.
He still doesn't, again, it benefits other people. He has the authority to sign into legislation, this bill. And one is the anti-lynching law, the Emmett Till, bill. He has the authority to sign that into law. And so I can't give a pass and say what that he has done enough. He hasn't done anything specifically for black people yet.
Is 100 days enough for him to get everything done in 100 days? Because 100 days is 100 days, but that's not a whole lot of time to really change the economical, industrial of our environment.
It's not. You got to think. Look how I mean, it fell off track fairly quickly, but you got to think about it. Look at exactly how much damage was caused in the amount of time where willful ignorance played a part, because it was willful during the last administration to let the American society tumble into what we are into now. You know what I'm saying? So that was willful ignorance. But it takes more than 100 days to rebuild such an infrastructure.
I agree to disagree. And what I'm saying by that is that nothing has changed with each administration. Even under Biden's first 100 days, there were at least 5 police killings of black African American people. And so, whether it was the sister that was at the foster home that was shot 5 times, whether it was the veteran who was assaulted by the police officer told him he's going to ride the white lightning, whether it was the young brother that was killed in Knoxville in his own bathroom, whether it was the brother in Elizabeth City, North Carolina that was killed, and then whether it was the other brother that was killed when the policewoman said she thought it was a taser and was a gun. That's 5 right there that we know of that reached national prominence, of police killings. That's 5 in just the first 100 days. That didn't start with Donald Trump, and I'm not in no way defending him. It didn't start with him, because we can go back to Trayvon Martin and have President Obama.
We can just chalk that up. So if we're going to do it if we're going to go that route right there, then we're just going to chalk it up at the start of the policing over here in America with the KKK actually being the start of the police, because that was a way to be able to legally do what they had to do to slaves that were trying to run away and be free. They were able to do that. You see what I'm saying? And remember that movie, that black and white movie they had back in the day, where the guy was in blackface and he was a slave, and the white lady, she jumped off the cliff.
Yeah,
they had the video.
That was one of the first.
One of the first. Yeah, it was like the the White Knights. Yeah, something about the White Knights. But anyways, we can take it all the way back there, and that perception of black people or melanated beings here in America, that's what they go by. That was the first picture. That's how the laws were created as far as the policing is concerned. And you can't expect it to change when they refuse to, reform it from the bottom up. Because let's think about it. We always talking about police reform and all that stuff, right? They're always talking about institutional reform as far as the prisons are concerned, right? How can you reform something if you've never been through it.
That's right.
You know, you've never been in this. It's going to take someone who has been in the system. Not saying that that's a beautiful, that's not saying that's a good thing to be in the system. But when it comes to reform, if you've never been behind bars, if you've never had to suffer through what they suffer through, then there's no way you can tell them how to reform it. That's like I can't tell a rich man how to be rich because I've never been rich.
Okay.
Well, to circle back and bring it back to Biden, you know what I mean?
Right.
The answer is no.
Yeah.
And the answer is that to me, as of right now, this is nothing but a, carry on, just a different look of what was going on in the Trump administration.
Right.
So it's not like Trump didn't put out the, stimulus bill.
Right.
He put one out, then Biden has carried it on. It wasn't like, people, brothers and sisters weren't being killed under Trump.
Right.
It's carried on, and it's gotten, effectively, want to look at it, it's gotten a little bit worse.
Joe Biden said in 100 days, he almost guaranteed that 100 million people will be vaccinated. In 100 days, we had over 100 million people to be vaccinated. Now, moving forward, he's saying that by the 4th of July, and we all heard of the imminent herd, what they're trying to do with the imminent herd. He said by the 4th of July, we should be in a position that the people that have not gotten the vaccine probably won't need it because we will be in herd immunity so that they won't need to get it. What are your thoughts about that, King Mel?
I mean, man, I didn't have any idea that it was over 100 million people have taken the vaccination.
Yeah.
I really don't know what to think of that, to be honest with you. If you're going to say that people won't need it, right? Because so many people have gotten it, and those who haven't gotten sick from it probably won't get sick from it. I mean, that's a great thing. But now we're looking at the jobs reopening. Will the community be able to function by then? Will we be able to move past that and people be able to work again? Because at this point, you're saying people to be able to, not have to take it, but what about the jobs?
Well, Truist Park opened Wednesday at full capacity.
Yeah.
Okay. The Atlanta, what's the name of the stadium downtown? Fairfield Stadium.
Mercedes-Benz.
Mercedes-Benz Dome. This Thursday for the United game, they're opening at full capacity. That means 100%. Now, for 100, and CDC, doctors and scientists, Dr. Fauci has said it's a big mistake to do that. A big mistake to do that. But they're saying that if you had your shot and you wear your mask, you're as good as safe. But nobody has been, well, yes, it did. The baseball team, Texas, don't get me wrong, I believe it's Texas. They went at full capacity, and over 30% of the people that went to the game got coronavirus.
Now, see, this is what I'm finna ask you. If we're talking about over 100 million people being vaccinated, that's what he just said, right? If you're talking about over 100 million people being vaccinated, someone opens a stadium, and then 30% of the people catch the coronavirus, and you're opening it at 100%, that's full. That would mean that it's only 70% effective.
And I tell you what, hold that thought right there. Hold that thought right there. We're going to take a TV timeout and we're going to go pay some bills. But you are tuned in to Talk Show Kings, and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Chief Gary Sparks with the Douglasville Police Department. Today we want to give you some safety tips concerning traffic stops. Take a look.
So you look in your rear view mirror and see flashing blue lights. What do? Remain calm. Yield to the right and pull your vehicle over into an off-road area that is safe for both you and the officer. Put your car in park. Remove your foot from the brake and turn the radio off. Remain in your vehicle. Have your driver's license readily available for the officer. Keep your hands on the steering wheel, visible for the officer at all times. If you need to retrieve any items from the interior, explain what you're reaching for to the officer and avoid any sudden movements. Rolling the window down completely establishes a level of trust with the officer and allows for ease of interaction during the routine traffic stop. Be courteous and polite. Be cooperative and willing to follow the officer's instructions. During a routine traffic stop, the officer will return to his vehicle to run the tag and driver's license verification and complete a citation if one is necessary. Once the officer returns and approaches your vehicle, whether or not a citation or warning is issued, please remain calm, courteous, and cooperative. Sign the citation acknowledging you agree to appear in court, and do not dispute the citation with the officer. The officer will give you a court date to explain or defend your infraction.
Okay, ma'am. Like I told you, I did clock you at 51 in a 35 mile per hour speed zone. I did issue a citation, okay? This here is going to be your court date. I just need a signature from you stating that you received a copy of this citation, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Here's your driver license.
Thank you.
Along with a copy of the citation, okay? Do you have any questions or concerns for me?
No, sir.
Okay, well, you have a nice day, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Following these few simple steps will help ensure a safe interaction for both you and the officer.
I hope these few tips help you as it relates to dealing with law enforcement and traffic stops. Not only in traffic stops, but in all encounters with law enforcement. We hope that all our encounters are safe for the citizens as well as for our officers. Again, we want you to be safe, and if you have any problems with the Douglasville Police Department, don't hesitate to give us a call and make your concerns known. I would add that Georgia is a right to carry state, and we hope that if you are carrying, that on these traffic stops and all encounters, please let the officer know that you are carrying. This will ensure your safety and our officers' safety. Thank you, may God bless you, and may God keep our community safe. We are one.
Hey, welcome back to the broadcast. We got so many responses, we got so many comments on the Joe Biden, but we have to really get into one that's right here in the heart of Atlanta. If you've been watching the news here recently, you know that one of Atlanta's favorite women, and that's gonna be Miss Keisha Bottoms, the mayor of Atlanta. She was a one-term mayor. As a matter of fact, she was the highest fundraiser of a mayor here in Atlanta than it ever was in American mayor history. She fundraised a lot of money, and if Keisha had her way, she would be the next mayor, her second term. However, we got some sad news that Keisha is not running for re-election. Why? It's up in the air. Nobody knows. A lot of Democrats are sad to see that because Keisha holds a very important seat on the Democratic ticket, also here in the hearts of Atlantans. And what do you guys feel about Keisha making this abrupt decision that she's not running for a second term? Mel?
I think that, me personally, I think that she's not running or seeking a second term simply because of all the opposition she had to face. You know,
I agree.
That's a stressful job, man. When you're dealing with being the mayor of a city, that is a stressful job. And when your opposition also includes the governor of a state, that's problematic.
Right.
You know, I remember when Brian Kemp he instituted, you know, the measures by which the state should operate as far as the coronavirus was concerned, right?
Right.
And then Mayor Bottoms, what she did was she went a step further because remember she had got diagnosed with coronavirus in July last year. Am I correct?
Right.
Yeah, I think it's July.
Her husband as well.
Yeah, as well.
Right.
So she took extra measurement and made it a mask mandate. Basically, you had to be masked up. Businesses had to be shut down.
Absolutely.
And Brian Kemp went after her about that. You know what I'm saying? She earned ire from him from that. And it's just like, you gotta come on, man. The city's already going through hell with some of the way this generation is acting, the people out here acting a fool during the whole pandemic. But the added stress of the governor being against you, and then all of his supporters being against you, trying to find a way to get you out of there.
Absolutely.
So if since she's decided not to, I can't even be mad with her, man. You know, some things just aren't worth it. I wouldn't be surprised if she received, her or her family members have received death threats.
Yeah. She has been one mayor. There's only been two women elected as mayor of the city of Atlanta. That'd be Shirley Franklin and Miss Bottoms. A lot of people, especially the Buckhead side of Atlanta, they felt from day one that she didn't have enough experience. They felt that day one she was not qualified to be mayor. But Keisha served on the Fulton County Commissioner Board for a long time, and she met some people and knew some people, and she ran for mayor. And because of her popularity alone, she was able to raise a lot of money, and because of that, and Kasim and Shirley Norwood, who she ran against that year, was pretty popular herself. But Atlanta was ready for another black woman mayor. Because if it had not, Shirley Norwood could have easily beat her. But guess what I found out, though, gentlemen? The majority of Atlanta's a tough city. You got to be tough to run this city. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying women are not tough, but you got to understand that you're following footsteps of Maynard Jackson. You're following footsteps of Kasim Reeves. You're following the footstep of almost, if I can say this, gangster type of mayors that ran this city. And to run this city right here, you have to be, your mentality has to be in a position where it takes the man. Keisha she's soft-spoken, she a homie girl, and this is what the Buckhead lights are saying, not me now, because I researched and read up. Go ahead.
Came out with your opinion.
From this perspective, everything is speculation, because even when she had a press conference, she didn't state why. You know what I mean? She just said that she's not gonna run again. And how she coined it, she said she was, moving on in a power position. Because she started stating statistics that 68, close to 70%, she has approval, from the city of Atlanta as far as
70% people still like her.
So she said if she runs again, if she ran today, based on those numbers, how true they are, we don't know. Is that she would win, a re-election.
She's probably right.
So she's, as far as tough, she's faced, whether it was the cyber attacks, whether it was coronavirus, all the protests that were going on here in Atlanta, the battle with Governor Kemp, over everything. She's been in embattled, man.
Absolutely.
And so I think that she's come, on the other side of it, to where, okay, if she didn't have the experience beforehand, she definitely has the experience now, and so she has done nothing any different than any previous mayor, except she's done it without scandal, so to speak. Because if we really want to go down the line of all the mayors, each one of them had their scandals that have come back their way, and so I have nothing really bad to say, because we can always find something, to say about that.
I mean, look, she has been in battle. That is true. But the fights that she's had to endure, everything from racial tension to the coronavirus to down to the part where she said that she believed that the Barksdale guy that was killed, you know what I'm talking about? That you covered her by that Wendy's.
I'm forgetting.
Rayshard Brooks.
Rayshard Brooks. I don't know why I said Barksdale.
University Ave. University Ave.
Rayshard Brooks was killed. But my thing is, you know what I'm saying? When she called it racially motivated, people were like, I can't believe she said that. It felt like it was. You know what I'm saying? It felt like it was. And then, just then, when they tried to reinstate the officer, even though his job was reinstated, he wasn't out on the streets, but he still got his job back. When she spoke out against that was something that, they need to be fired. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the one that killed Rayshard Brooks just got reinstated.
That's what I'm saying. I think they said that's what I'm talking about. They reinstated.
They reinstated.
when you're seeing stuff like that, it's time. Sometimes you feel like it's time to walk away because at that point you already said that he doesn't need to be there.
She the one fired her.
But somebody else. Yeah. But can't the governor override all?
No, she couldn't. To be honest, in this situation, along with the 2 students from the AUC, that was the young brother was tasered.
Absolutely,
those police officers were removed and they were reinstated. Right, they were. And the reason being is that without due process, because we got to remember. The police, they unionized, so they're going to be coming, and so what ends up happening, there's a due process that has to happen for them to be removed from their position, whether we agree with it or not. I'm not saying she was wrong.
And he was denied due process,
right? And so
the guy that killed Ray Sharp,
we don't have to agree with it, right? But there is a process, and so we have to take. Here's the position, right? We have to take, when you're in a position like that, you have to take emotion out of it. Yeah. It's hard.
You have to take emotion out of it. Yeah. Okay. Let's just say we took emotion out of it, right? Let's just, for instance, we took emotion out of it. Right. If you caught dead to the wrong, what due process am I giving you? Just like when we are citizens, right? They said we need due process, right? They will lock us up without a bond and make you sit until the process is finished. Now, you got him on camera. Guy running away from you. He's running away from you. You know the taser has already been fired. It has nothing in it. He's running away from you and you shoot him in the back. What due process do I need to see when your body cam shows that you completely shot him in the back?
Can I answer that? The due process that any government official, any government that is governed by the government says that an investigation has to take place. See, the due process is they fired him within 72 hours of the shooting. You cannot do that without the due process of a full investigation taking place. So that's what they're saying.
So in other words, let the taxpayers pay for the court case, and if it goes to trial, that's at least $50,000, right?
Absolutely.
Trust me, I know that I'm doing the math. That's at least $50,000, right? Then you have to do that, and you take this to trial, and all this due process, the taxpayers are paying all this money to go right back into the government's hands. But that's why they want the due process, because they make more money off of it.
Okay, well, guess who dropped the ball, though?
Who?
Guess who dropped the ball?
Who?
District Attorney Paul Howard. Paul Howard got with Mayor Bottoms. Mayor Bottoms got with then Police Chief. She's left now. She took a job up in Tennessee. Got with the Police Chief. Within 72 hours, that officer was fired from his job. He was fired without any due process. Now, any ordinary man on the street, you know why he stay in jail? And well, they'll give him a bond. If he can't make that bond, then he'll stay.
They set a ridiculous bond.
But guess what though? The due process is they're getting him enough evidence to indict him. See, he was never indicted for killing Rashawn Brooks. Even though he killed him on TV, the whole world saw it and everything. There's still a due process, and it's a due process just for civilians as well as it is officers.
I agree with what you're saying. It's not a disagreement. I agree with what you're saying. At the end of the day, he's a part of the system. Right. And the system rarely eats his own. Yes. You know what I mean? The system rarely eats his own. And so from that, he has certain protections that we as citizens do not have. I don't care how much taxes we pay. I don't care how much in the right or wrong we are still citizens. This place operates, this country operates, either you're part of the government or you're a corporation. Those have protections. We don't have protections.
And he's going to get back pay, because right now they're seeking back pay for it.
That's the sad part about it. That he has protection, right? Government and corporations have protection from everything that they're trying to charge regular citizens with. And my thing is this right here. This man's family has to suffer through this right here. And through the process, they have to relive this over and over and over again. Every time they show the video, every time it's brought up, the longer that it takes, right? All I'm saying is that My father's like this. If somebody catches you dead to the wrong and you can see that you dead wrong, man, listen, your family got 1 week and the execution need to take place. Period.
You're speaking logic.
That's right.
You're speaking logic.
Dang it, man.
I forgot. You're not speaking the realities of this system.
I'm not speaking politics. My bad.
Listen, and those are the thoughts of King Mail. It's not a reflection of this show. But we are going to take another time out. We're going to take another pause. But before we do, hey, listen. Guys, if you're out there and you're a fan of the Talk Show Kings and you would like to be right here sitting on this very set, you're a broadcast journalist or you're an internship away from it, even if you just like to talk a lot and you're very loquacious, please give us a call. Look us up, Talk Show Kings, TV 1061. Shout out to us. Call us. Come by the show. Come by the studio. We would love to have you. We are recruiting new kings each and every day. So if you fit this pattern, if you fit this role, and this is something that you know you could do, then come on, we are here. But also, think about us financially as well. Send us money. Send us whatever you got. We'll take it. Send it to Cash App, $TV 1061. We'll be more than happy to receive it, and we'll put it right back into the community, and that's right back into the show where it goes. We're going to take a 5-minute break. We'll be right back. You tune in to King Mel, King Mike, and I'm King London. We are your Talk Show Kings. We'll be right back.
Good afternoon. I'm Lieutenant Elmer Horn with Douglas County Sheriff's Office, and we're here in one of our communities, and Sheriff Pounds is here with us. And Sheriff Pounds is very involved in his communities, and he come out. We brought out our grill and our smoker so we can come out and help cook for this community, and Sheriff Pounds himself has come out and helped cook with us, and he's here to cook and help these folks today.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of the programs that I call Taking My Community Back. If you don't get out there and get involved in your community, you ain't gonna be able to get it back. And the sad part about it, we losing our young men at such a pace that it's unreal. We got to come up with something that will help us with these children. Got to. So this is what I'm doing. I love it. I'm out here in the sun. It's hot, but like I said earlier, we're gonna do these until we get that gap between law enforcement and the community bridge. We're gonna bridge that gap because we're gonna get out of here, we're gonna shake hands, we're gonna find out if they got any kind of problem we can assist them with, and invite them to the sheriff's office and come to the roll call. Just come see what's going on at the office. Thank y'all so much for being here.
Thank you, Sheriff Pounds. And like I said, this is just one of many events that we bring this grill out to help with our communities and get involved. I'm here today at one of our community outreach days with our sound truck. And our sound truck is used for just what you see. We come out to community days, we play loud music, and be able to just have a good time with it and enjoy our community. Our sheriff's office, you get to see us in a little different light. We're not always out there writing tickets or locking people up. We come out to your community day and be a part of your day and help you celebrate your community. And this is just one of the ways that we can do that, was with our sound truck. We're here today in one of our communities. We brought our ice cream truck out. A lot of people like to laugh when I say the sheriff's office owns an ice cream truck, but this is exactly what it's for, is we bring it out to our communities. We give away ice cream. We don't charge for the ice cream. The ice cream is free. And we have partners in our businesses in our community that help pay for the ice cream so that we can give it away for free. And we give it away. We go to schools. This is just one of many events that we bring our ice cream truck to. We go to the school systems. We come out to community days, block parties. We just come out and see you and help you enjoy and celebrate your community. Thank you.
Listen, we are live. The Talk Show Kings are back, man. Y'all didn't know before. You're gonna learn today.
The thing about coronavirus is it doesn't care if you're black or white.
It doesn't.
It does not care if you're rich or poor. It does not exclude if you're a Republican or a Democrat.
I'm taking it as in it becoming a hostile environment
I couldn't even go to the restroom. I would crawl to the restroom and hold the walls to not fall off of the restroom. I couldn't stand up to get in my bed because I seriously thought I was dying.
Hey, welcome back to the show. We thank each and every one of you all for tuning in. You are tuned in to Talk Show Kings, one of the hottest, if not the baddest show this side of Atlanta. We want to give a wonderful shout out to our wonderful executive producer, Mr. Felix Washington. Hey, Felix, thank you. Our media director, our media resorter, our media everything. Miss Shantae Barstow, thank you so much, Shantae, for keeping us together and keeping us media ready at all times. Thank you so much. And happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. We thank you so much to my mother. Thank you to all the mothers. Happy Mother's Day. We love you so much. But we're going to get back into the show. And we were, got a rock through at us this week that we was not expecting. And if you just now hearing or haven't heard all week, it's been all over the social media, even her social media page, that the now existing Atlanta mayor, Keisha Bottoms, has decided not to run a second term. She's going to forego her second term as mayor. And it has a lot of people wondering why, and is this all of a sudden? And I'll say it's not all of a sudden, because if you went to her social media page and you would see where she had a documentary, so to speak, of her not running for office, meaning that it was carefully edited, it was carefully photographed. I mean, she put together a exit package, so the way. So by her putting together that exit package, that lets us know that this is something, Mike, that has been prepared. She knew she was going to do this by what she put together to exit and tell the people, and especially her fans and her constituents, that, well, hey, I'm not running. By her not running, the Atlanta media, Fulton County government lit up, because now they have about 9 candidates.
It's a free for all.
And they're coming from everywhere.
It was 12 when she ran.
I gotta tell you.
I'm even thinking about running for mayor of Atlanta.
Hey, you might, listen, you might just win. You're playing games now. You might just win.
I'm thinking about running.
You popular, boy. University of Georgia got your back. But no, I know, for real though. But you know what though, man? Something's been on my mind. And I thought about this last couple of days after I heard that she was not going to seek re-election.
Right.
My thing is, man, I can only imagine the power play and the way things would have played out had Stacey Abrams won governor.
Right, yeah.
That would have been a dynamic duo right there.
Dynamic duo.
That would have been a force to be reckoned with.
And they knew that. They knew that.
I'm telling you.
The hands
I'm telling you,
that
man.
knew that.
You know, it's unfortunately, you know, we still live in the state of Georgia.
We do.
Atlanta is fairly progressive.
Savannah
progressive. May be fairly progressive. You might even go as far to say as, Macon and Augusta may be fairly progressive.
Are we going to throw in Columbus and Valdosta?
We might be able to throw
it out.
But I'm here to tell you, the majority of Georgia is still conservative and is still Republican backed. Well, and so to say Stacey, that was a pipe dream for this time. I can't say in the future, but for this last gubernatorial record.
I just feel though, man, that, you know, people place too much on political parties and what a person, see what a person's policies are and what they're going to stand for.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, all the divisiveness that still runs through the veins of the country, runs through the states. You got to notice, man. People take notice of things, especially nowadays with social media. It's just like, you know, there aren't any black NFL owners, majority anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or basketball team owners, majority. You feel me? So you got to think about that. All these melanated kings and queens that play the sports, that make the sports what they are. Yet still, there are no owners that match their description. Every owner that they have to contend with is opposite of them. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Same thing with
Same
Georgia.
with politics.
Same thing with politics. Same thing with politics.
Right.
Atlanta is considered a black city.
Right. The Mecca,
we have a black mayor.
South, yeah.
We have, if I'm correct, Atlanta hasn't had very many black mayors.
Oh yeah. Dating
back
to the city.
We had a lot of black mayors.
We've had more
so
black
it's just
mayors.
the state of Georgia.
Georgia is a Republican state.
Governor.
They haven't had any black
governors. We've never had a black governor.
Okay, so
Stacey Abrams would have been the first.
So with that being said,
right,
we still ran by a lot of the good old boys, huh?
Yeah, and that's politics. We got to understand, this is the way the country was shaped.
It is. Very
so, have there been progress? But I'm here to tell you. So take the analogy that you took into sports. Michael Jordan became an owner in the NBA. He had to be let into the good old boys club. Anybody, there's the gentleman that is now the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. He had to be let into the boys club.
Right.
At the end of the day, when somebody reaches a certain plateau in this country, you have to be allowed into the club.
Not even money. It's that clout. They called it clout.
What do you bring to the table? And I'm not looking for my government to give me a handout, because I know that the government per se isn't there to give me a handout. It isn't there to do for me. And so because I understand that, okay, how can I make this work not only for myself and my family, but for other brothers and sisters who may not have the same advantages that, other people have.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. A lot of times we have to look to ourselves in order to pull us out. So we have to be sort of the Harriet Tubmans, to be able to go back and help free other people.
Right.
But if we don't have that mentality, then we're going to allow the government, not to free us, but to keep us captive and docile, because we don't want to give up that government money.
Right.
It's very much so, and that's what I was saying about the thing with the pandemic money. It's a country has suffered, during the last year, almost a year and a half now, right? And literally, you've received 3 forms of payment from the government. 3.
Right, 3.
With everything with everybody that's elected these officials, with all the taxpayers that actually pay these officials salaries and everything, you've received in return 3 payments. So, at this point, man, what really can we do? It's not like you said, you don't want to remain docile. You shouldn't want to remain docile. But what do you do when there's a bunch of red tape that you have to go through in order to get?
Well, we were doing with Keisha Bottoms as a Democratic mayor, and John Osman and
Raphael
Warnock.
Absolutely. With the positions that we were in right now, we could, because Warnock doesn't have to run again for another 2 to 3 years. But no, Osman doesn't have to run another 2 or 3 years. But Warnock has to run again next year. So with him having to run next year and we having a Democratic mayor, it would have helped our progress, because he could have easily won. But you got to think, what if a Republican mayor now comes in? It almost sets us back from the struggle that we got by even voting ourselves in Warnock, on the Democratic ticket. So where do we go from here?
Look.
With her not running.
Look. The way I look at it is this here. Whether it be a Republican candidate or a Democratic candidate, right? Both parties will have something to offer. Both parties will have good things to offer, and both parties will have not so good things to offer. It's understanding policies. And after you understand the policies, you want somebody in there that's gonna actually be for the people.
Now let me stop you right there. If Ossoff would have won and Warnock would not, and Warnock would have lost, do you think we'd have got a stimulus check? Because you're saying that it don't matter what party, now the Democrat or the Republican, they still would have had something to offer, something good.
Well, before you say that, right?
Right, okay.
Remember, I did say, bless. But before you say that though, right? Remember what I said. It doesn't matter which party runs. The candidate, right?
Right.
Has to be a person that's gonna set aside the political differences and be for the people. So if
they do that at?
That's logic.
What politician does that?
We were just talking about logic. But speaking logically, because I don't want to speak politically, I just don't speak that because that's a lot of, But anyway, the party has to be for the candidate. I mean, the party has to be for the people. If they are for the people and you can set aside your political agenda or whatever, all that aside, okay, these people actually need this money. We don't. They need this money. They've been suffering through this thing a long time. Job loss and everything. They need. If it's for the people, that's. But I know it's gonna be hard to find. Y'all vote me.
What party is for the people?
Vote me.
I'm trying to understand
I'm for the people.
What party? What party? But what party is for the people?
Exactly. When people go in the office, they go into the office for the party.
I'm running as a real one. That's what I'm running as a real one. I don't want a Republican.
Nancy Pelosi could not stand 45th. She couldn't stand him. But to get along with him, she had to do stuff she didn't want it to do for the party. Not because of for her, because if for her, she probably would have been left. So when these politicians, they get on the microphone before they get the position, and I'm going to do this, and I promise to do this, and then when they get the position, it's not about the people anymore. It's about the party. The party is the most important thing. All these politicians that's in Washington, they don't care about the people. They care about the party. So if the party's winning, guess what? They are winning too.
And also know this right here. Those right there views expressed by King Lundy
are
not views of the Talk Show Kings.
Absolutely.
Or anything affiliated with thereof. Those are strictly his views.
And on this view right here, we want you to view the next commercial because we'll be right back. You're tuned in to Talk Show Kings. We'll be back.
My name is Dynasty. Welcome to TV 1061. Join our network and broadcast your event live across the continent. Come to our studio and film and stream your talk show, sitcom, showcase, and broadcast it worldwide. Combine multimedia with your live stream. Independent filmmakers, show your movie and afterwards interview your cast live. Sponsors, advertisers, I'm talking to you. This is your chance for global exposure. These are very exciting times we live in. Traditional TV is all but a thing of the past. TV 1061 is now on the Roku platform with a viewership of 46 million and counting. Roku is an industry leader in internet TV. It is the most popular and fastest growing internet TV platform. If you are interested in developing and streaming your own show or movie or coming in as a sponsor or an advertiser, please send your contact information with a short description of your interest to 1061tv@gmail.com. Thank you.
Hey, welcome back to the broadcast. Those of you all who stayed, I am so glad you did. We are going to wind this thing out, but we had such great fun, as we always do. But remember, if you are a talk show king and you feel it in your spirit and you want to sit right here on this same set with King Mel, King Mike, and King Lundy, then you got an opportunity to, because we are looking for the next talk show king. Give us a call. Hit us up at TV 1061. What's the website?
Oh, TV 1061.
TV 1061 at Gmail. Send us your comments. Let us 1061TV at Gmail. On the screen. Hit us up. Let us know. Come out, and talk with the executive producer. Get a chance to meet the Kings as well. And if you fit what we're looking for, then hey, you could be the next one sitting up here, and you can also be called King. Well, anyway, there's been a terrible, terrible shooting spree here in our wonderful city. There was a 15-year-old young lady, Jonesboro Middle School basketball player, that lost her life at the Waffle House on Glenwood Avenue. There's shootings all over the city. Man got shot down in Buckhead, got shot in the stomach. 58-year-old man got shot in the stomach. Another man got robbed over in the Hillsborough area of Atlanta. And it's just been so much going on. And you got to understand, people, that APD are 400 police officers short. That means that the crime spree here in the city of Atlanta can't be covered by the minimum amount of police officers that we have, because imagine, we're 400 officers short of what it takes to run a city in the police force. 400, not 40, 400 officers short, King Mike.
Would you be a police officer?
Absolutely not.
All right, so that's part of the reason why it's 400 people short.
I mean, look, we understand that there's a risk to the job.
Right.
And that, look, I don't want anybody to think that, you know, there aren't good officers out there. But again, we had the whole analogy. If there are 100 officers, one officer's choking somebody out, and there's another 99 over here that don't do anything about that officer. They'll stand there and shake their head. Right. But then you got 100 bad officers, period, because you did nothing to stop it while he did everything to continue the situation.
Right. So is everybody, so in the same vein, if somebody witnesses a crime and doesn't report it in the hood, is everybody in the hood bad too?
All right, so we're not gonna say everybody in the hood is bad. What we're gonna say is this right here. This is what we all gonna say. There's a difference between snitching and doing the right thing.
Right.
Snitching is when you've done something yourself, but you don't want to go down for it. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
You would rather tell on the next person in order to take the monkey up off your back.
Right.
That's snitching. But if you see somebody shooting, blah, 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 they shooting randomly, and they hit this person, child, or kill this innocent person who's not doing anything to it, right? That person does not need to be free in the community, because that could have been your child.
Right.
That could have been your husband, boyfriend, whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
The violence that we have seen here in Atlanta and the way that it's been displayed against the young kings and young queens, and look, man, something has to change.
Right.
While you're begging for change
and
not being the change, nothing's gonna change. You get what I'm saying?
Right. But it's the majority of the crimes are happening are from gun-related instances. And a lot of times, and I was listening to the police chief on the live interview, he said what he did with Keisha Bottoms is the gun, and the Atlanta public want to know, where are the guns coming from? You know where the guns coming from, King Mike? They're coming from people that leave their guns in their vehicles. All the auto burglary vehicles that happen, I guess, from the month of April to the month, from the month of February to the month of April.
Yeah.
They were missing at least 400 guns. Those guns get in the hands of criminals, and the criminals use those guns to rob, to steal, to kill people, and that's how they're getting the weapons. It was because people like you and I that are leaving our guns in our vehicles. And when somebody breaks into your vehicle, he said, one person, they got 2 guns out of the car. Not in the lockbox, but just in the glove compartment or under the seat in these vehicles. And once these criminals get these guns, it's wide open out there. And they're just shooting and killing.
But a lot of these shootings, man, it's just got to be said. It is what it is.
Right.
Most of these cats, they're not men. Like they're not men. They're not grown. They're not adults. They don't actually have beef.
Right.
They're cowards. And the reason I say they're cowards, because they just shoot randomly.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you were a sniper in the military, and this guy is your target, you're not gonna shoot that innocent civilian in hopes to hit your target.
Right.
You're precise with what you're doing. You see what I'm saying? That's what you're in hopes of. These cats, they scared to approach the people they got a problem with, so you shoot random with it, and then things happen. Yeah, you don't have that problem. You're scared. You hope that you appear to be what you're claiming. You're really not.
Right.
And there's a lot of innocent people dying.
That's right.
You know, it's all over news. It's not just here in Atlanta. It's in Atlanta. It hits close to home because this is where we live.
Right. Absolutely.
But I've seen it happening all over, man. It was a young girl, I think it's somewhere in Ohio or somewhere like that, right? She got killed by a guy she got set up on a blind date on. And, you know, I guess he liked or wanted a relationship with her or whatever, but I guess she didn't want to be in one, and then he came over. He actually killed her in the room. Told her 10-year-old son, I'm just gonna go in here and give your mom a massage. And then when he left out, he told the child to fix some cereal that his mama was in there napping. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Just sad cases of stuff like that. And against on us, and you got like, come on, man. So in the end, man.
Did he have a motive to why he killed him?
They don't know.
Broke off with him?
He had just recently gotten out of prison somewhere, and
so
you know.
To kind of loop it to what you were talking about,
right.
And what we kind of this theme has been with the city of Atlanta and Mayor Bottoms. You mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast that, you know, is the Buckhead Coalition that was kind of against it.
Absolutely.
Well, a lot of noise that we have seen and we have listened to, heard in the media has been from Buckhead areas, whether it's shooting at Lennox, whether it's the shooting on Far Road,
that makes sense.
Buckhead Village.
Makes sense. That's why
there's been a lot. So that is her biggest opposition when you start talking about Atlanta. And you start talking about those residents.
Right, absolutely.
And then I know people who live in Buckhead. So there are a lot of online.
Makes sense because I've seen them on the news, that Buckhead Coalition.
Buckhead has been the biggest, proponent, opponent, I should say.
Y'all guys ever watch Sunday morning? It's called the Georgia Game.
I haven't been able to watch it, but I know what you're talking about.
9 o'clock Sunday morning, Channel 5. There's a show come on called the Georgia Game. If you ain't doing nothing else, watch the Georgia. I watch it every single Sunday. Watch the Georgia Game. Georgia Game just gave you a shout out.
Oh, Georgia Game, I don't know who that is, but I'm about to check it out now.
It's politics, and they talk about what's going on here in the city of Atlanta and throughout the state.
Isn't Buckhead like the richest city in it?
No, it's one of them, but it has a big financial area where
they said that's the richest. Said the people that they live in Buckhead. Buckhead is the richest city.
It's one of them. It's not the richest city. But it's one of them.
They said Buckhead.
Definitely not Bankhead.
Don't go to Bankhead. If you go to Bankhead,
hey, I'll tell you what. It might
if you go to Bankhead playing games, you might have problems, man. Them boys out there real with that crazy.
You better not get that mixed up.
Yeah, don't listen. Don't. I thought they said go to Bankhead. They did not tell you to drive your Maserati over here. They did not tell you to do that.
You drive a Maserati over there and leave back with a Nova.
You might leave back with just one tire. One of the tires. Take this back home with you. But no, man. But no, for real though. On serious note, man. The senseless violence has really got to come to a halt, man. It's with senseless violence and everything else, you not only lose lives, you lose money to your city. Tourism drops. Everything.
When are we going to continue? I'm looking forward to when we're going to say we need to stop the violence. We've been saying stop the violence since the 80s. They made self-destruction, you know what I mean, hip-hop video about that. Because let me put it like this, because in the 90s, the murder rates were higher in the 90s than they are now. You know what I mean? So if we start looking at Chicago and all of that.
And the hits on the...
So, that's been going on since the 90s. So, we've been hearing this all along, stop the violence in our neighborhoods.
That's right.
All right, so we can't blame the police all the time. You know what I mean? We can't blame the government for not giving enough handouts all the time.
That's right.
When are we going to start being accountable to ourselves, even though it is the very government that has helped foster the situation. Believe me, I'm not oblivious to that either. So I'm not. It's enough blame to go around, and it's enough culpability to go around for everybody. But when are we going to start looking at ourselves in order to make our communities better for ourselves?
We looked at it a lot longer. We did that show like last year in August. We did the show about the 19 families and 96 acres, 97 acres of land and everything else. Look, man. It's going to come to a point where if you're going to talk about change, you have to be a part of the change. And for those that don't want to be a part of the change and you want to continue the same narrative, well, you're just going to have to weed those people out, Even myself, from my past till now, I'm completely different. You know what I mean? Trying your hand at different things. I've been trying my hand at the cryptocurrency thing to see if I can, find a way for my money to make money for me. It's an off chance that if you do, and you got a couple dollars sitting around and you're able to try something different, it may just pan out. Back then in 2010, Bitcoin was worth 10 cents a coin. You could have got 1,000 shares for $100, and those 1,000 shares right now would net you $48 million. So. My thing is, man, try something different. It's going to be time we got to be the change we're talking about.
Absolutely. And you just heard that from King Mill. Be the change that we are talking about. Hey, you just experienced a wonderful hour of Talk Show Kings, one of the hottest shows this side of Atlanta. But it always comes to this end of the hour where we have to bid you goodbye. But before we do, we're going to allow the Kings to exit us out. And after that, we'll see you until we see you next time. King Mel.
Hey, man, I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. Everybody that was able to. I know a lot of people are busy. It's Mother's Day.
Absolutely.
Shout out to all the mothers out there, whether you be biological or you stepped in place and you've taken care of. Those that are gone, you know, still happy Heavenly Mother's Day. Even you guys out there that are pet moms, happy Mother's Day. You're taking care of something. Right. So, you know, with that being said, I just want to say we love you guys. And thank you for blessing us and helping us be in this world. Without you guys, we couldn't have made it. To my kids, as always, Maya, Ty, Serenity, I love you guys. I love you. I love you. You know what I'm saying? It's 2 chocolate hearts, a strawberry, and a Teddy Graham. And, man, listen. King Mel, man, and I'm out.
Absolutely.
Hey, just thank you all for tuning in, listening to us. It's been always good, you know, to be able to talk about some of the things, the lightning rods that are going on, whether it's in our country or here in Atlanta. Appreciate the mothers out there who have been mothers, you know, who have given birth to our great young people, you know, and our older generations, such as myself, you know what I mean? So we appreciate the mothers out there as well. And just please be a blessing to somebody this week, you know. Add blessings. Be a blessing to somebody. Make a difference in the life of somebody you know this week. Peace.
Absolutely. First and foremost, Lady G, if you're watching the show, that's my mother, Mrs. Geneva Lundy. I love you so much. Thank you so much for allowing me to breathe the air of life, because if it wasn't for you, I would not be sitting here. Thank you to my sisters, each and every last one of you who are mothers. Thank you to my cousins who are mothers. We love you so much. To all the moms that are doing what moms are supposed to be. To the stepmoms, to the grandmoms, to moms, to new moms, to old moms, just to moms, this is your day. But just remember to stay prayed up, stay faithful, and remember, a lot of you out there don't have moms out there right now. Remember that the God we serve, He's a mother to the motherless. He's a father to the fatherless. So He's always there when you need Him. Amen. Also, I want to thank our executive producer, Mr. Felix Washington. Felix,
Happy
we love
Mother's
you so
Day,
much.
Felix.
Thank you so much. We want to also thank Miss Shantae Barshell, our media director. Shantae, if you're a mother, you got to be a wonderful one, because you treat us wonderful each and every time we have this opportunity. Thank you so much, Shantae. And once again, if you would like to be a talk show king, feel free to hit us up at tv1061tv@gmail.com. And we'll be more than happy to reply. Or, you know, you can reply to Felix. Look in the ad section and follow the ad. We'll be more than happy to speak with them. And also to our many fans, you know, who tuning back in. We apologize. We went into a hiatus for about a couple of weeks, but now we're back and we're ironing things out, and we are here to stay. But with your stay, we also need your support. Also support us at $TV1061. That's our Cash App. And we don't ask for much, but we like the kind of money that jingle, but we'd rather have the kind that folds. We love you so much. I'm King Lundy. And to my lovely lady, you know who you are. I love you so much. Go ahead.
And also, just one added thing. We like to have the kind that fold, but if you just feel a little froggy, you just want to bless us with some shares of cryptocurrency, we'll take that too. Hey, listen, I'm banking on the Dogecoin, man. I'm telling you, man. Shoot, I'm trying to get it in, man.
There you have it. There you go. You have it. We out. Talk Show Kings. We love you. And we out.
Peace.
Peace up.
Yes.
Peace down.
Listen, we are live. The Talk Show Kings are back, man. Y'all didn't know before. You're going to learn today.
The thing about coronavirus is it doesn't care if you're black or white.
It doesn't.
It does not care if you're rich or poor. It does not exclude if you're a Republican or a Democrat.
I'm taking it as in it becoming a hostile environment.
I couldn't even go to the restroom. I would crawl to the restroom and hold the walls to not fall off of the restroom. I couldn't stand up to get in my bed because I seriously thought I was dying.